Hey everybody, welcome back. We're just getting started out here in the shop. We're still working on this old baler, trying to get the pickup back together. We've got a few things done, as you saw in the last video. We got the hub bearings packed, new bearings, new seals, new races, all that good stuff. Took a link out of a chain, got it back in good graces again. Fixed the adjuster, the adjuster bolt. It was bent and not working properly. I just want to give a shout out to Messicks. They're not local to our area, but with this baler being an M&W, M&W of this series actually made Krone balers. And the design, the Krone design, and this is what I've read, the Krone design of this era is all M&W. It's just got M&W, or it's got Krone painted on it. So what I do is I call out the Messicks with the part numbers from Krone balers, and so far they've all seemed to swap over. Long story short, they were able to supply me with all these new bushings, new roll pins, both sizes of bushings, the polys and the roll pins here, which will rebuild these areas and then these areas here, and hopefully take some of this slop out. Again, you know, I don't think it's going to take the side-to-side play out, but I think it's just going to make it run smoother. Won't be as much flopping around. And honestly, I think it's going to be easier on this cam area over here too. I think it's going to take some of the stress off that. I drove the poly bushings out of this plate. This is the outside plate for one side, and I've got all these new poly bushings to put in here. So we're going to go ahead and mount those babies and get those things in good shape. All done. Inside, nice and flush. They're all home. That's where we want to be. So here's these new bushings that go on the pickup itself. They're tapered on this end to make it easier to start. What I did on these guys, you put them on here, and they're spring bushings, so they slide right on. And then I took this guy, drove them on, and essentially that's all you got to do is rinse and repeat to get it done. The other side right here, this is the side. It has steel inside of this guy with the cams on it, and I'm assuming because it wants to whip around inside there, and I think it probably has a lot more force on that side, so that's why it has steel versus plastic on the other side that we did over here. But all we're going to have to do is add these bushings and these cams and then the new plates, and we'll be able to put it back together. But like I said, it's rinse and repeat. Here are the cam pieces. These fit on the outside of the pickup. Overall, they're in pretty good shape. Something that I found out, you know, the pickup wasn't in nearly as bad a shape as I thought it was. Yes, everything was considerably worn, but not like it was going to be catastrophic and come apart. I was under the impression, you know, me looking at it, I was like, wow, this thing's really, really worn. Well, it had a few bales left in it, but for the money spent and the time it took to take it apart, it's peace of mind for me. You can see this here is the only one that's a little bit loose. The rest of them are considerably tighter than they were before. I mean, they had a lot of play in them, so I feel good about that. And these bearings don't feel bad. There's a little bit of wear, you know, but for what they are, I think we'll be fine. I mean, like I said, this thing probably would have ran for another, you know, 5,000, 10,000 bales, who knows. But we went through it, taking it apart, and it's peace of mind. We've got the pickup sitting down here. It's all assembled. I ended up Loctiting the bolts. I pulled these bolts out here, Loctited them. I had to replace a couple where it stripped out the bolts, and I just put a washer and a nut on there, and it's not going to be a problem. It clears. You know, we've got plenty of clearance down in here. We got this pickup back together, got the cam plate on the side, did a little welding on it. We had to do a little welding back here where we had some stuff break. I actually tacked these side plates back on to this stripper bar just to make it easier for installation, because you got to pull these bolts out. Again, we got new bearings on the ends. They're not tight yet. These cups, or the bearing cups, are tight. Everything here, we got all the new stuff in. All the new stuff in. We got teeth. We had to do a little welding over here. Did the same. I tacked it all in. This piece was broke off. Spinning it by hand right there. On the cams, everything seems to be timed well. Now it's just a matter of putting the, you can see I got some teeth that are whopper jaw. There's a brand new one. Some of these teeth are pretty worn. You know, I'm gonna try to get another year or two out of them. We'll see, and then we'll replace more as we need to. All right, what we're doing is we're putting the pickup back in the baler. The way it's made, it has these brackets here that wrap around this big piece right here on the side of the baler, and that acts as a stabilizer. It actually holds the pickup in. I had to cut this piece off because it wouldn't clear around the baler. Doing this by yourself, you know, I'm sure everybody's done stuff by themselves. This thing's heavy. I bet it weighs 300-400 pounds. So, you know, cut it off if I need to. I'll check it out. When I open it up, I'll weld it back on and grind it smooth if I have to. But this is just the easiest way to do it. So this is what we're doing. The pickup's back in. We've got the adjusters right here. They're adjusted similar or the same on both sides. And basically I use clearance for the rollers inside here to adjust that. The 3 main bolts that hold the pickup on the bottom here, and then these 2 on both sides, are tightened up. We've got the cable, the hydraulic position on. We've got the spring assist on. This chain. Come back over here. We've got the sprockets installed on the pickup. Got the adjuster screws set. I'm getting ready to put the pickup wheels on. Wheels are back on. Pickup's in. None of the guards are on. I want to go ahead and run this thing, take it out, and just kind of take a look at everything else. I think I'm gonna have to hit the torch and bend that wheel a little bit. So all that's left now is just to grease it, you know, throw some grease in the Zerks and run it for a little bit, check everything out, make sure there's no crazy noises and all that stuff. Significantly less slapping going on down here. We tighten those chain adjusters, which helps significantly, which are these right here. So all in all, pretty happy with it. Again, like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I appreciate feedback. It's a great old baler. Hope we can keep her going for a while. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.